Coming up on Mobile Learning in the Classroom, goREACT. Hi, I'm Zoe Falls, and today on Mobile Learning in the Classroom, we're going to look at goREACT. And it comes from the Museum of Science and Industry's website, and that's a museum in Chicago. And what this app does is it pulls up the periodic table, and then you drag and drop different elements and see how the reactions operate. And based on the app that we had earlier, where it was the periodic table and it gave a bunch of information, I thought this was a nice app to maybe pair that one with once your students had some of that foundational knowledge about what the different elements were, what they did, then you could sort of have them test their knowledge or even just do an exploratory element where they were going through and seeing what happens. Maybe they know some compounds already and they get to try them out. So again, it's really user-friendly, and we'll go ahead and we'll do oxygen. And again, it has a little pop-up that talks about the element. It tells us that oxygen is vital for human life, and it's the second most abundant gas in our atmosphere. And then it'll give you some hints to say, what happens if you do this? So we'll add, and it even points out which one it is, because I'm not as up to snuff on my periodic table locations as maybe even a high school chemistry student. But we'll go ahead and drag it down and see what happens. So it bonded them together really quickly, and then it brings up an image and a description. And it tells you what it does, which is really great. And then again, that box at the top, beryllium is a stiff, lightweight, and maintains its shape at high temperatures, making it ideal for aerospace applications, such as telescopic mirrors. I didn't know that. I like aerospace, but I didn't know that. And then when your students are done with a particular compound, they can drag it over to the trash can and then kind of start again. So we'll start with oxygen again, pull down another oxygen, because I know if there are two oxygens, you get oxygen, like the breathable kind. So again, and it tells you when you've created something. So let's just add something. Oh, look, cubic zirconium imitation diamonds. I didn't know that was going to happen. Trying to make something that's not going to react. There we go. So if there's not a reaction, the compound that you already made, right, my fake diamonds over here, and then I add this, nothing bonded. So there was no reaction. So if I add something else, okay, so now it's going to try and help me out, right, because I'm not making anything. So it's going to say, try adding some chlorine. So I'm going to try and find chlorine. There we go. Aha! Potassium chloride is used for making fertilizer. So again, it's helping, it's giving you some hints along the way. And then again, you can trash it. Move them around. Now, this does have a mobile version, so you can do it on a tablet, you can do it through the App Store or through Google Play. But over here on the other side, it gives you some other options. So Mother Nature. So if you're doing some sort of environmental unit, you could have them talk about the way these elements operate within the atmosphere. So it said to get 3 oxygen, so we'll pull down 3 oxygen. There we go. Ozone and lightning. All right. Now we're going to try CuL. Oh, Cu. There we go. Copper and iodine. Huh. There we go. Copper iodine to cause rain. H2CO3. All right. H, C, O, Try adding more hydrogen. Okay, see, it's helping me out. I think we needed 3 of those. Oxygen. There we go. Carbonic acid has led to worldwide, bleaching out of coral reefs. Okay, so as you can see, and we're not going to go through all of them, but each time your students go through and make something, or don't make something, or need a little nudge in the right direction, it's going to help them out, and even help by pointing out where it is on their periodic table. So again, I think once the students have had that first introduction to the periodic table with the app we looked at last time, and they go through and they learn sort of what they do, and they see those extensions of the applications of the elements themselves, then they get a chance to combine them and see what happens when they're combined together. And it's highly visual. If they're on their tablet or their phone, it's a little bit more tactile for them. So again, if you're working with younger students, or high school students, college students, I think this is fun. I spent a lot of time playing with this before showing it to you guys because I liked seeing the different images that popped up and learning new stuff about the different elements. So again, this is goREACT, and it's from the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. And you can play it on your computer, or again, you can get the app from the App Store or Google Play. So this has been another episode of Mobile Learning in the Classroom. See ya.